Welcome. We'd like to take a moment to introduce you to the new electronic non-immigrant visa form recently introduced by the U.S. Department of State, the DS-160. This basic guide will walk you through the process and help you understand how to complete this new and exciting electronic visa form. What is the DS-160? It's a new electronic non-immigrant visa application form launched by the U.S. Department of State in the latest phase of our ongoing modernization of the non-immigrant visa application process. The new DS-160 combines three previous visa forms, the DS-156, the DS-157, and the DS-158, into one easy-to-use web-based form. Now, here is some important information you need to know before you start the new DS-160 process. First, be sure you know the proper type, or classification, of the visa you need for your specific purpose of travel. For example, if you are going to the U.S. on a business trip or holiday, you will need to apply for a B visa. A student going to study full-time in the U.S.? In most cases, you will be applying for an F visa. If you'll be participating in an exchange program, like summer work and travel, you'll need to apply for a J visa. Petition-based temporary workers? You'll likely need an H, O, or P visa, depending on the nature of the work you'll do in the U.S. Members of the media? If you're going in your capacity as a journalist, you'll need to apply for an I visa. And ship and airline crew members? You'll be applying for a C and/or D visa. We recommend that you consult the U.S. Embassy website for more on appropriate visa classifications before you begin the DS-160 process. Also, be sure you have a digital photograph of yourself that meets the non-immigrant visa photo guidelines, a computer with internet access, and to save your work, we strongly suggest that you have a file storage device, like a thumb drive or a writable CD. Let's talk a little bit more about the digital photo. Your digital self-portrait must be square and at least 600 pixels by 600 pixels in height and width. It has to be a JPEG image, no larger than 240 kilobytes in file size. Of course, there are a lot of other little details that you need to know, so make sure you read the photo guidelines carefully as outlined on the U.S. Embassy website before you begin your DS-160 electronic visa form. If you are not able to upload a photo during the DS-160 visa application process, you will have to bring a physical photo to your interview. Before you begin, here are a few tips for completing the new DS-160 electronic visa application form. Make sure you have all your important information on hand, ready, while you're completing the form. Your session will time out after 20 minutes of no activity, so you may not have time to step away and get this information while you're filling out the form. We recommend that you have it on hand from the start. Once you have everything ready to go, access the application at ceac.state.gov/GENNIV or visit the U.S. Embassy website for a link to the new DS-160 online application form. Once there, you're ready to go. With the DS-160, you can now complete the whole application form online. There is even a family and group option that allows you to copy data into the DS-160 application for use by family or tour groups. No more hurting your hands filling out stacks of paper application forms. Now, every step of the non-immigrant visa application form can be done right on your computer. We've already made a point to be sure that you select the appropriate purpose of travel when prompted in the DS-160 application form. But we'd now like to take a moment for a special note to dual-purpose travelers. If you are applying for more than one type of visa, please be sure to add your additional purposes of travel by clicking Add Additional on the proper section. For example, flight crew members applying for a C1D visa, you need to select both categories from the drop-down. And those crew members who are also applying for a B1, B2 need to select business and tourism as a purpose of travel as well. This is important, so don't forget. Consular officers will be unable to add additional visa categories to your DS-160 electronic visa form on the day of the interview, and you will have to resubmit your application and schedule another appointment if you do not choose all applicable purposes of travel. We know that internet connections can be unpredictable, so be sure to save your DS-160 application form as you go along. We recommend that you save your data after completing each section so you don't risk losing the work you have completed already. If the session times out and you have not saved your data, you will lose all the responses you have submitted, and you will have to restart the process from the beginning. So take a moment and click the red Save button at the bottom of the page after you complete each section and avoid the headache of losing your data. Also, if you don't have time to finish the whole DS-160 in one sitting, you can save the application as a file on your home computer or on a media storage device like a thumb drive, so you can resume completing your DS-160 electronic visa application anytime, anywhere.